Okay guys, so question one from Nikki was, why did I change from my off-arm threadle for a threadle wrap to this arm? So these are the answers. Off-arm looks, what does it look like? Slice. Look at my titties are going, titties to target. I always use off-arm slice when I'm behind the dog. So if I'm coming in means come in and slice, everything's facing that way. Now with a threadle wrap also, point number two, you usually want to run off that way. Now when I do this, it's very hard for me to then turn away, and it makes you want to turn with them, which is wasting you a lot of time. So if you change to this arm, as they come in, you can just move away so much easier, because you can mark your threadle wrap and leave the turn. Also, point number three, it looks more like a rear cross, which is basically what it is. It's a rear cross on the flat. So if I was going straight over the jump and I want them to turn right, it would be drive arm, and I'd be turning them right, because that's what I want them to do, drive and turn away from me. I don't want to manage it with an off arm. So same on the flat, as they come in, it's na-na-na-na-na-na, with threadle wrap cue, they turn away from me. Same as with the rear cross, if I could turn them away from me and turn that way to pick them up if I wanted a super tight turn. Same on the threadle wrap, they come in and turn away. So it's keeping consistency with the rest of the handling. Doesn't look like the threadle slice, because I always use my off arm for threadle slice when I'm behind, because it helps with the shoulder rotation, so they don't get confused between the two. I'll try and show you with Boss to make sure you see the difference. He doesn't know a threadle wrap very well, so we'll see what happens. In. Good boy. So always really simple. He turns my body that way. Come here. Drop. Ready? Stay. What's that? And no. Good. And he doesn't even know that, but they just do it on that body. They know when it's that, they've got to turn back to you because you're already peeling away. So I would definitely suggest doing it. Off arm is always going to be threadle slice if you're behind, if you're ahead, if you want to peel away, so they know to go that way even though your feet aren't supporting. And one arm for open arm if you want a threadle slice and you're ahead. One arm dropped if you want the threadle wrap and you want them to turn. It means you can leave the turn super early. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so question two from Heather, and breakdown of all the terms and the commands and maneuvers again. Now, if you look at the top of the page, on the announcements, I have got that on there, so everything is one after another, and I've done it in a little video so you can see, but I'm just going to do it very quickly again. So simple stuff. Front cross is right, left arm to right arm, you change sides, check. They do a wing wrap, they come back to you. Now that is a wing wrap front cross. Thank you. You can also have a landing side front cross, so that was take off side front cross, landing side, same thing, go check. They're still changing sides. So always a side change on the front cross. Come here. Ketchka, obviously, ready, check. They go around the wing, they pick up on new sides. So we're replacing the pivot with a Ketchka, simple. Come here, buddy. Now, the back sides, this is where it's gonna get a bit more confusing. So we're gonna have 5, I think. So we've got a backside front cross, easy peasy. A normal general backside, you don't even need that one. Backside front cross, you're gonna change sides. We're going to have a backside SERP with no collection. So backside SERP, one arm, you keep moving along, so you don't want any collection on that. A backside SERP with collection, so round, they double arm it for the backside SERP with collection, because I want them to know when I bring up double arm, they always come in between me and the wing, so they stick tight. We've got a German backside one arm. It helps with a little bit of collection, but your titties are always going where you want them to go. So you want collection on a German, not extension. So as they come around, they should see this arm, then you don't change arms until you go past the plane of the jump. So as they go round, they pick up. As you get here, then you turn. What I don't want on a German is backside, then you do this, and then you go this way. Because generally on a German, you want collection, so you want to go that way. My titties are pointing that way. So on a German, keep facing the job, collection, then you switch arms when you get past it. Now that's the difference between the backside blind. Round, you want extension on the backside blind. So you're not going to be going back past the plane of the jump. So round, by the time they get around there, they see straight away the new arm, and you're going to run that way. It's very important you don't mix up the German and the blind. German is for collection when you want to go past the plane of the jump. A blind is for extension when you want to go along the jump. So I'm going to run through them all. Ready, Buzzer? Round, front cross. Good boy. Nice. Thank you. SERP. Round, just one arm SERP. Good. Just don't want any collection. Buzzer. Good boy. Now backside cert with collection. Ready, round, 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 round. Second arm comes up. They always come in between me and the jump. German. Ready, ready, round, 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 round. One arm, switch to the other arm. Okay, you want collection, but you want to keep going that way. And backside blind. Come in. Ready, round, 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 straight to new arm. Good point. So you want extension over the jump, no collection. Your backside, so Freddles are already worked through. So Freddle slice is one arm, they go along, or off arm if you want to peel away. Freddle wrap is when they come in and wrap. I think that's pretty much all the terms you're going to need. If I say blind, here you go. Right. I want a front cross and then into a blind. It just tightens up the turn. So tick, 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 tick. Front cross, but then blind. Okay, that's your blind. Front cross into a blind. I think if there's any more, write it in the comments. But I think that's pretty much all the terms you're going to need for what I tell you to do on the sequences. Yeah. So question 3, directionals, rights and lefts. So to start with, possibly you teach them, I just lure them around with some food so they understand it on the flat. So eventually I can just say right, and they spin right, and ready, back, and they spin left. So back is my left cue. They want you to build that up so much so that eventually you can stand there, arms behind your back, don't move. Right, down, back, back, right. Yeah, good. So there's no little nudge, little wink, little hip thrust, nothing to help them. No physical, it's only the verbal that tells them where to turn. So if they know it that well on the flat, then you can build it into doing it in different positions. So if I'm standing on my side, ready, back, yes, good boy, nice. So they've got to do it facing that way as well, ready? Right, yes, good boy. So you can do on either side of me, right and left, without any kind of physical help. Then, thanks mate, we're gonna move to the jump. So first of all, I'm doing just the wings. Come here, buddy. Ready, steady. Right, 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 right. So I've already taught them to go around wings, easy shaping. Then I'm just gonna add in the verbal. If I need them to understand, turn away from me. Ready, back, 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 back. Boss, you showed me up. How embarrassing. Back, 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 good boy. So just do it on the wings to start with. Obviously I wouldn't have 2 wings to start, then I'd build up onto a jump. So it's same thing, just hold them, start with help with some physical. Back, 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 good. So step into them, help them. Eventually, you want to have them in the middle of you, and show me up again, Bozza. Ready, right, 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 good boy. So there's no physical help. They have to understand it on verbal. If they're failing, put in some physical again. Ready, back, 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 back. Bozza, embarrassing. Ready, back, 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 back. It can't turn left. Come here, back, back, back. Yes, good boy, nice. And they're gonna fail sometimes, but that's the whole point of your training. Boss likes to show me up when I do videos because that's what he likes to do. So put them in the middle of you, restrain them, let them go with that verbal, let them figure out. If they're failing, help them with physical, with some motion, with some shoulder rotation, and then eventually fade it out again. So if you kept failing on that and you kept turning right instead of left there, boss, finish, finish. I would have just helped out with a bit more physical, so I'd have rotated more that way, and he back, 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 and stepped a little bit, just to help him understand I wanted that. Then eventually fade out my physical again, till it's just the verbal. And that's important. If they know it on verbal, then even if you get your physical wrong, it doesn't matter because they are gonna know what you want. So a question from Karen, how to handle a young, powerful dog? I don't know. I'm struggling myself with Modo. He's so big and so powerful. I actually don't feel like I'm in control any of the time. But it's getting better, slowly, because I've worked so much on his tight turns, I've worked so much on his skills, so I can just trust him a bit more and leave. That's the important thing with those fast dogs, is you're not hanging around with them. As soon as you hang around, you get stuck behind. It's all about having your skills ready, so being able to trust those skills and train them as well and prove them as well as you can, so you can just send and go, because as soon as you get left behind with those big boys, then you're stuffed. Not literally, it sounds weird, but don't get left behind with them. You have to stay up with them the whole time and control all their turns and work everything. So the other important thing is fitness, something I've been trying to work on lately, trying to lose a bit of this COVID gut. So if you're not fit enough, you're not going to be able to spend the whole course. You're not going to be able to keep up with them around the whole course. By you get to obstacle 15, you're getting knackered, and I know the feeling. So work on your fitness as well, because some dogs, you can get away with it. You can hang back and you can send them. They can do everything by themselves, but you have to be able to keep up with those faster ones. You have to be able to be a bit closer to them to control them. If you're stuck behind, it gets harder. So fitness is a big thing from you, and then teach them loads of skills. So if you can't get up there, at least you know their skills are really, really good, so you can just send and go and get to the next spot. But if you figure it out first, let me know. Okay guys, so fitness exercises with your dog. So I'll tell you my routine when it's in full competition. So not this year, we'll forget this year, it's a load of bollocks. But normal years when you're trying to keep them fit for competitions. Obviously a walk every day, at least half-hour walk every day, at least. That means they are running around for half an hour. Obviously warm them up, cool them down as well, but at least a bit of that. They are doing some sprinting. It's so important they're running on walks. So obviously try and do more than half hour a day, but if that's all you can do, that's fine. So they get a walk every single day. Whatever happens, they always get a walk. Also, I try to take them swimming at least once a week, and I do water treadmill as well, at least once a week. So that's in full fitness time of years, again, as often as I can. I know it gets expensive if you don't have your own. I don't, so it costs a lot of money, but as often as you can, even if it's just taking them swimming in the river. So something where they are swimming, I do think really, really helps them. Obviously, I also do all my stuff with my FitPaws equipment. So I'm working on their strength and conditioning as well as their cardio. So we've got cardio with their walking, their swimming. We've got their strength and conditioning as well. It's important that you get both of those. So you're not just doing one or the other. The swimming and water treadmill will also help with their strength and conditioning, but also with their cardio. So you're doing a bit of both with that. But it's important that you do their strength as well as their conditioning. Also, guys, I like to do some sprints with my dogs. So one for my fitness, two for their fitness. So I set up a nice long line. I will send them to a dead toy. I will be running behind them. Obviously the dogs stay way fitter than I do because I get exhausted. But what I'm trying to achieve with the sprints is trying to get them to run for a certain amount of time. So don't just do straight lines, but also send through hoopers, around barrels. So I try and get them running for at least 30 seconds to 40 seconds, because that's what they're going to be doing on a competition, is sprinting for 40 seconds. So some dogs can do that easy. If you go on a walk and actually time your dogs, the time they're actually sprinting, it's usually about 10 seconds maximum. I've tried it before. So I want to keep them sprinting for the 40 seconds that they're doing a whole course. The same as me, I need to be able to sprint for 30 seconds, or at least keep a continual run for 30 seconds without slowing down. So they're good for both you and them, keeping the speed up for that amount of time, which is what you're going to need when you get to the ring. If they're getting tired, Boss was a big example of that. He used to get tired by always by jump 15. I could feel him pull off the gas a little bit. So I used to do a lot of that sprint work with him and with me, so we could both keep up for at least the 20 obstacles and hopefully 22, 23 if we needed to. And Taryn, I will do some fitness exercises one week on Video Week, and I'll just show you some more of the exercises that I like to do with my guys. Okay, Donna, so how many runs a weekend do I do? So let's just go for my older dogs. We generally in UK get a maximum of 5 runs a day, and that's only if we get to a champ final, which we have to qualify for in the day. So it's usually 3 or 4 runs we get a day, and I will tend to do, with Fame, I will stick to the important runs, so I generally don't do I will never do more than 4 runs a day. That's how I feel, my guys. I think it's so exhausting for them, not just physically but mentally, and I always feel on the 5th run they're going to be going down a little bit and not putting their all into it, even if they're super fit. So I like to save them for as much as possible, and just do as few runs as I possibly can. So if I don't like the course, I just don't do it. It's that simple, because there's no point doing a course I dislike. Obviously, unless it's a qualifier or a final, then I will do it, but only because I really want to qualify for stuff and win the finals. But if it's a normal course, normal run with no pressure or nothing to gain from it, I just don't bother doing it. So I'd rather be able to do more training with them than have to use them up doing competition runs. So I like to give my dogs at least a month off every year. So it doesn't have to be a month all in one slot. Sometimes it's 2 lots of 2 weeks. Usually they have more than that off, because I go away competing. I'm training a lot abroad, as you all know. I'm not always in the country, so I always get time off then, but they're getting walks. But at least 2 weeks a year, I tend to pretty much do nothing with them, or a week on lead and a week off lead, depending if they've had an injury or not, Obviously, if they've had an injury, they're going to have had more time off during the year. But yes, every year my dogs all get a break from competing or doing any form of agility for at least a month. Sometimes it is a month block. If I have no Olympia or no finals in the winter, then they will just get a big month off doing absolutely nothing. They're just being a dog. So start with on lead, then some nothing for a week, and then some lead walks, and then they start letting them be a dog, running around a bit more and building their fitness back up, ready for when I want to start training. But I think it's super important that you all give your dogs time off every year. And to be honest, more time the better. I like them to not use their bodies all the time and not be crazy running around like lunatics all the time, but actually to rest, because even if they're not showing it, most of our dogs will have gained an injury somewhere throughout the year doing agility. It's not easy on their bodies, it's not always good for their bodies, so I like them to be rested as much as I possibly can to save them so they can keep going on longer and longer and they don't have to retire too young. So like I already said, if I don't like a course, I don't do it. I've tried to talk to judges. Judges don't like to hear it, so I then put posts on Facebook, which I also get in trouble for. I'm not very good at keeping my mouth shut. So I'm trying to help more so by educating judges rather than trying to make them feel bad about their course design. I've tried lots of times. People don't want to hear it, so I tend to just not run courses I don't like. We're always trying to improve people's course design and by things like putting up posts on Facebook about tunnel safety, about lines that dogs take. But some people are going to take stuff from it, some people aren't. I think the only way to improve it is just keep improving agility on a whole. So as a training, when we're doing training days, we're also always setting up, me and my friends train so many people in this country, we're always trying to set up nice courses, flowy courses. I think most people in the country are going to be coming train with us at some point. Hopefully they'll see those courses and realize what course design is all about, and not doing just horrible tight lines with ugly lines and two things that are too tight, close together. The only way to improve them is education, and unfortunately that takes a long time. Some people just don't want to learn. So bad courses, don't put your dogs through it, or go in and make your own course up. I do that a lot, so long as that's allowed in your country. We can pretty much do it here. A bit frowned upon, but no one's going to say anything. I've paid my money, I'm going to go in the ring and do what I want to do with my dogs to keep them happy and keep them safe. Okay guys, so someone asked about collection into weaves. So I do tons and tons of 3-pole work. So remember, when you're doing your 3 poles, imagine they're going that way. So imagine the weaves today always away from this foot, so they're going like this. Imagine the weaves today are going that way. So every entry on that session is going to be this way. So don't go this way, then all of a sudden turn around and go that way, because that will confuse the hell out of your dogs. So remember, for this, it's a very quick training session this is. Remember, for you guys, this is a get it cue. So you don't say yes to them coming out the weaves. I want them to understand there's a word that means they're allowed to come out their weaving poles. So come here, brother. So when you do the weaves, you just start with an easy entry. Ready, weave, 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 weave. Get it, good boy, nice. Get it means you're allowed to come out. Nothing else. So when I do my set of 12, if I ever said get it, they're allowed out. If I don't say get it, they're not allowed out. So that's for a left-hand entry, open face entry. For a closed entry, I reward back this way. Ready, weave, 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 weave. Get it, good boy, nice. Because you want to reward the collection each time. This is the collection on a closed weave entry. This is the collection on an open weave entry. So you're always rewarding collection. They should be able to do it with the toy on the floor. Boo-boo. Ready, steady, weave, 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 weave. Get it, good boy, nice. So they should be able to work around the dead toy. They should be able to work around you running. So drop, drop. So if I run at the weaves, ready, come here, ready, weave, weave, ready, weave, 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 get it, good boy, nice. So you should be able to, while you running, you should be able to build up the distance into them. So bring in tons of speed. Ready, steady. If they need help with the collection, leave the toy out. Ready, with the weaves, ready, go, weave, 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 get it, good boy, nice. Okay, so you can leave the toy dead or you can throw it in. But build up tons of work on your 3 poles. Teach them that that is the important bit. Get the collection. Either if they're coming from the closed entry, come back this way. Open entry, they come back this way. I do so much work on that early on. With Boss, if any of you know him, he had awful collection on weaves. I didn't start with this, I did full channels. When I did start with this, I only used 2 poles. With all my others, I've gone back to 3 and they all have fantastic collection, touch wood, because you never know. And now I said it, they're gonna have awful collection. But this is the important thing on your weaves. Entries are important. 3 poles are important for your entries, nothing else. This will teach your dogs great entries. Once they've got all that, you then do exactly the same on your set of 12. So they're learning to collect even if there's 12 poles in front of them, not just 3. Go, toe, 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 toe. boy, nice. Weave. Get it, good boy, nice one. So guys, when to mark poles, bars, when they come down? Well, I try to be consistent, and what I do every time is I whack them. Only joking, but it is important that you're consistent with it. So every pole, some dogs can deal with it. So it all depends on the dog. My sensitive dogs, I tend to not correct. I just try and teach them how to jump better because they don't like having it down themselves. Older dogs, more pushy dogs, I will correct every pole. So Commotion, I've corrected nearly every pole he's ever had. And I'd say he's the least pole knocky dog I've had ever, but he is quite tough with that stuff. So he'll run back in and bite the pole and grab the pole. He doesn't care too much, but he knows it was wrong to do it because he'll always stop himself. Fame, again, I taught her to grab the pole. Boss, I never really corrected poles with him because he didn't need it. So it really is dog dependent. And with Fame, when she was younger, if I corrected her, she really was like, oh God, I know, I've never told her off, but I just stopped, picked poles up. But even that was too much for her. So you really have to read your dog well to know whether to correct poles or not. And if they're being super lazy, there has to be a consequence. If they just think knock them down is fine, then they'll continue to knock them down. Some dogs give themselves a consequence. They don't like to do it. Other dogs like, whatever, I'm just going to smash all the poles down. Don't give a shit about anything. So you have to understand and read your dog. The consequence might be lie down. It might be come back. They might grab the pole. I don't really teach that, but they come back in. They just grab the pole and they pick it up. I don't really mind. Consequence might be right out on your bed for 10 seconds to cut time out. Whatever it is, but what I don't want is shouting and bollocking them and getting angry because that won't fix anything. Just scares them. But there has to be some kind of consequence to a behaviour you don't like. So guys, when is it a thread or wrap and when is it a direction? So if they're coming in here and they want to turn back that way, if they're coming from this side of the plane, it's a thread or wrap, and even if I'm over here. If they're coming from this side of the plane of the jump, it is just a left. So even if they're sort of on the edge of it, if they're right in the middle, I would still use my threadle because they've got to make the decision to come in and turn back. If they're at all coming from this angle, then I just use my direction cue. So from here, stay. And good boy, nice, excellent. If they're coming from here, ready, check. Back. Good boy, nice. So then it's just a left cue. So it depends where they're coming from. If they're dead on line, if they're dead to the middle, then it's a good boy. Then it's a threadle as well. But anything where they're even just here, drop. Ready? And it's all about your proofing. So this time, right. Oh, it's all about your proofing. Are they listening to those words? Right. Yes, good boy. Nice. Good boy. And then again, I try to proof it again. Ready? Back. Yeah, good boy, buddy. Nice. And then again from here, I might proof with the threadle slice. Ready? In. Good boy. Off arm for the threadle slice because I'm behind. Ready? And good boy, nice. Okay, so it's all about proofing those different verbals, but they should turn on either, but depending which side of the jump they are. It's all about proofing and testing, they're not patterning. Like I did there, see, he patterned a couple of times going left, he didn't listen to his right, then he was like, oh yeah, he said right, did it, then I went back to the threadle wrap or the left again.